So you've got this great idea for a web app, but then you hit a wall, the backend. What even is that, right? Don't worry, you're definitely not alone. Today, we're going to lay out a super simple, step-by-step roadmap for building that engine that makes everything tick behind the scenes. Let's dive in.
Okay, just think about the last time you bought something online, maybe on Amazon. You find what you want, you hit that place order button, and boom, confirmation. It feels almost like magic, doesn't it? But it's not. That single click kicks off this whole chain reaction in what's called the backend. And today, we're going to follow that journey from start to finish.
All right, so first things first. Every single website is really split into two big parts. You've got the front end, that's everything you actually see and click on. The pretty layout, the buttons, the pictures, it's like the storefront of a shop. But the back end, that's what we're talking about today. That's the warehouse, the office, the stockroom. It's where all the real work happens. Storing your orders, managing products, the whole shebang.
So what is the back end, really? When you strip it all away, it's basically just a conversation. Yeah, a structured chat happening between two computers over the internet. So let's meet the two players in this conversation.
On one side, you've got the client. That's just a fancy word for your computer or your phone. When you click that Place Order button, your device sends out a little message. Think of it like a digital postcard. And on the other end, there's the server. This is a really powerful computer, and its entire job is just to sit there and wait for these postcards, read them, and then do whatever they say. This whole client-server back and forth, that's pretty much the foundation of the entire web.
Okay, but here's the thing. A computer isn't just born a server. You have to actually tell it how to be one. You have to program it. So that's our step one. We're going to build that server and lay the foundation so it can start listening for all those messages coming in from the internet.
To get this done, you're going to need a basic toolkit. It's really just three things. First, you need a programming language. That's how you'll write your instructions. Second, you need a framework, which is basically a bunch of pre-built code that saves you a ton of time. And third, a package manager. Think of this as a little helper that keeps track of all the other bits of code you borrow for your project.
You know, building a server is a lot like building a house. You could start from scratch with just a pile of wood and a box of nails, but wow, that would take forever. A framework is like getting one of those prefabricated house kits. It gives you the walls, the roof, the basic structure, all the boring stuff is done. So you can jump right to the fun part, like picking out the paint colors and furniture. It's a huge, huge shortcut.
And here's some of the most popular toolkits out there. You don't need all of them, you just pick a lane. So, if you're into JavaScript, for example, you're probably going to use Express.js and NPM. If Python's more your thing, you'll likely go with Django and Pip. The really cool thing is that each language has its own ecosystem of tools that are built to just work together perfectly, which makes your life way, way easier.
All right, so our server is built. It can listen for messages. Awesome. But what happens when it gets an order? It can't just have the memory of a goldfish and immediately forget it, right? Our app needs a brain. It needs a memory. And that is where the database comes into play.
So what's a database? Well, at the end of the day, it's just a special program that's really, really good at storing and managing data. In that Amazon example, it's the thing that remembers your user profile, your address, every single order you've ever made. All of that stuff is kept safe and sound in a database.
And yeah, you've got choices here too. Things like MySQL and PostgreSQL, they're kind of like super organized digital filing cabinets. Everything has its place. Then there's something like MongoDB, which is more like a flexible binder where you can just stick different kinds of documents. Honestly, for your first project, any of these are a great place to start. You can't really go wrong.
Okay, let's take a quick look at what we've built so far. We have our client, your computer, and it's talking to our brand new server. This is that core communication channel. But like we said, a server without a memory? Not super useful.
So now, let's add that final piece. Here's the complete picture. The client talks to the server, and the server talks to the database to save and get information. This simple setup, client, server, database, this is the backbone of pretty much every web application you use every single day.
So, we have all our building blocks. We have the client, the server, and the database. But how do they actually talk to each other to get something done, like placing an order? Well, it all happens in what's called a request-response cycle. Let's walk through it. It's really just a simple three-step dance. Step 1, your browser, the front end, sends a request that's packed with your order details. Step 2, our back-end server catches that request, does its thing, and saves the order in the database. And finally, step 3, the server sends a response back to your browser saying, yep,
All good. Order confirmed. That's it.
So what does one of these requests actually look like, under the hood? Well, it's often just a simple little command like this. Post is basically the verb. It means create something new. And /orders is the noun. It tells the server what to create. So when you put them together, post/orders is just the system's clean, efficient way of saying, hey server, I need you to create a new order.
Okay, so let's pull all this together. We've actually covered a lot of ground here. But the amazing thing is, the core of what you need to get started, it's actually pretty simple.
And here's the main thing I want you to walk away with. With just these two pieces, a server and a database, you have everything you need to build the backend for most web applications out there. It's a simple setup, but it is incredibly powerful.
So there you have it. That's the blueprint from that first click all the way to the database and back. You now have the map. You understand the core concepts that every single great application is built on. The only question left is, what problem are you going to solve first?